you understand like why black people in America feel the way they do.
Absolutely. Like there's a reason why. This is one of the first things I said when all this anger was coming out. I said, well, if anger's coming out, then anger's there. Like you can't say it shouldn't be there because it is there.
Through history, you understand the history.
Of course.
Yeah,
of course. So anger's needs to. I understand the reason for anger. There is no disputing that there is anger and should be anger. And I can see people out there being like, well, no, then so we should take this anger and fuck that store or fuck this person or do this.
Absolutely.
But what is that doing? I get that there's anger.
Yeah, because I was in LA when the riots cracked off, and it destroyed so much of LA. I mean, I don't really even know if that really sent the right message.
Yeah,
it just tore our neighborhoods.
The one thing I was hearing, because I was speaking to like my friends that live in Charlotte, you know, and they were saying that, you know, not only are they tearing up white stuff, they're tearing up black stuff too.
Yeah.
And that doesn't add up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it just seems like the anger is out of control to where it doesn't even matter what you're angry about. You just maybe spazzing out off of everything that's been bothering you, regardless to your
exactly
justified, and it's uncontrollable. And
exactly. So to me, like what I always do, and I do a lot of work with men, is I talk about self-control. Like I get that you have anger. There's no denying it. There's no stopping it. Feel it. But each of us individually has a choice on how we express that anger.
Absolutely.
So my question is this, right? To everyone that's in Charlotte right now, and everyone that feels violated and it's justified, how and what would be the best way to react? Just taking, you know, what's the best way to move forward in that moment? Not the future, right now. In the right now, what would be the best way from a professional standpoint for people to react?
Well, I think let's play it out logically. If right now you take that anger and you go outside and you protest loudly and you do these things, aren't you putting yourself in a position? Now, I'm not saying you're the fault, but wouldn't you be putting yourself in a position to be subjected to those people who are racist or pinpointing people? And now I could see somebody watching this and they say, well, isn't that like telling somebody if they wear a dress, they're asking to be raped or something like that? So again, no, I'm not saying that. But at the same time, you asked me this earlier, what would my advice to my child be? My advice to my child would be like, right now it's going to be stay inside. Because if you're going to go outside, I'm just telling you what I would say as a father. Yeah, and you tell me if you guys would say something different to your kids. Would you say get out there and protest right now?
So you're saying, but you're putting yourself at risk to be abused by the abuser. You're putting yourself at subject to their mercy by doing
what it sounds like right now in Charlotte.
Right. And by doing that, you risk your health, you risk jail time, you risk living. You risk having your family not have you in their life.
Right.
So it's not logical.
Right. And people will say, I can see people saying, well, that's not fair. And I would say, you're right. This has nothing to do with fairness. Like this has to do with knowing the rules.
Right.
Look, so many people play
surviving though as well.
It is. It's surviving.
So self-preservation for the bigger picture. Right. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, to be upset about the past is one thing, but don't create a future that you have to be upset about because your child has no father.
I agree with that. I agree with that. And look, so many people play video games. And in a video game, what do you have to do? You have to know if the person is going to come out here, I got to dodge this. And you learn the rules of the game. And that's the only way you beat the game is to learn the rules. Right now, it sounds like, I'm not saying this is the right rules. I'm not saying it's fair. Not at all. I'm just talking about reality. Right now, reality is if people are going to be targeting people, taking away people's fathers, doing these things, then I'm going to make sure that I'm not going to be in that spot. I'm not telling my children go out and be in the spot where people are going to be coming after people. And if you guys are telling something different, I want to learn that.
Right here. You know what my friend Jay Black, who's out there, was saying is a lot of what's going on is there's a lot of punk, soft cops, and they don't know how to react in that moment. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think what would make the world feel really good is if some cops would step up and say this is wrong, and if some white people got together and were appalled, like just like white people that are mad at this, you know what I'm saying? Like there should be a group of white people that stand up and say this is not
Well,
just a.
if you're not,
I'm not just.
If you're white and you're not appalled by it, you're a racist.
Right, but but it should be. A lot of times it's like it ain't got nothing to do with me, so I'm gonna look the other way. But this is a humanity issue right now.
Right, I'd say I would take it a step further and let's say not only is it racist, but it's not you're not even humane. If you can watch people suffer, if you can watch an innocent person suffer and not be well, that's what antisocial personality disorder is. You can watch somebody suffer and not care. So anybody who has any sense of empathy is going to watch somebody suffer.
Is that a form of mental illness?
Antisocial personality disorder is, yes. You can watch people suffer and not care. There's something wrong.
Everything that's happened is disturbing on a human level.
It is.
Period. You know what I'm saying? And it shouldn't just be black people now.
I agree, but what you said, I think, really needs to be heard. And I think when
Dusko,
if a police officer, and I think Dusko agrees with this, that's why he's emphatic about it. But I feel like if police officers were to say, like you said, that police officer turned in the guy who his partner on that rape.
I wasn't expecting that's what needs to start.
That's the type of stuff that needs to happen. Is people need to call somebody and say,
that's the doorbell.
That's the pizza.
Oh, that's the pizza.
That's good news.
Yo, this is Kenyatta with Hip Hop Motivation. First of all, I want to tell everybody out there, thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing to our YouTube page. And if you haven't liked, commented, or subscribed to our YouTube page, make sure you do so. Stay in tune. We have a lot more to come. Peace. Yo, you can either think of a master plan or get mastered by somebody else's plan. Check it. As a barber, one of the most important life lessons I learned is to never do anything without seeing the ending result first. Before I understood the value of seeing results, I used to waste a lot of time sometimes doing double work because I didn't have a vision of where I was going. Then I started taking consultations more serious by not even turning on my clippers until I had a clear understanding of the result my client was planning to see. And in turn, it became easier to achieve the style they wanted to see in half the time. Real talk, the most successful barbers and beauticians are the ones that see the ending results before they start any service. Write this down. Before making any moves, know where you're going. Deciding from thoughts of being sick and tired of something, starting something, or admiring something can be the emotions that fuel change. Because write this down. Emotion leads to passion, passion leads to action, and action leads to results. Word up. Question: what's the #1 killer of dreams? If you said fear, you're wrong. Fear is on the list, but it's not the #1 killer. The #1 killer of dreams is comfort. The comfort of a good paying job or in an active relationship can seduce us for many years into the rhythm of accepting things without making any moves to change, further numbing us into a state of zombie-like passiveness. Write this down. Passiveness will cause your dreams to pass you by.
Dash thing. Nah, I don't want to chill out, bruh. You know what I want to do? Believe in yourself. Build your own personal wealth. Then that becomes personal health. Think I'm rhyming. How about that?
Everything go down here. Just gotta, know what I mean, be a little smart.
I see you grooving right now, dude. I was in my groove. Yeah. Woo! I started daydreaming. I started thinking about something.
I'm a musician.
Yeah, exactly.
I like to spend all kinds of money, like the dollar, like the euro, like the pound, like the franc pause, I like the yen.